Hello. Um, Happy Halloween. I wanted to say some things about the revisions for the causal analysis essay as well as the final essay that we'll be doing. So I have the 2 or 3 essays left to grade for the causal analysis. A lot of people chose not to turn it in. That's 150 points you're not going to get. If you want to revise your essay, like I said in the announcement, I had to move the due date back for that so you guys would have enough time. Make sure to read the comments, those bubbles that I've placed throughout the essay, as well as the comments at the end. If you have any questions, I'm here and happy to help. If you're happy with the grade that the causal analysis got, perfect. Remember that our argument essay is our final essay, due our final week. It's like the final exam, so there's no way to revise it. So you've got to make sure to get it good to go before it's turned in. And it's 200 points, so it's 20% of the whole course grade. So it's not something to kind of half-ass and then, want to be able to revise it later. You won't be able to do that. So on the assignment sheet that you see there, for our blog this week, we're focusing on what is your debatable thesis. And like the blog prompt on the module assignment sheet says, remember that your thesis is not a question. Should women be shackled while giving birth? Okay, no, that's not a thesis. You have to answer that. It should not be a statement saying this essay is going to discuss. And it shouldn't just be an informative statement saying, the use of solitary confinement is very controversial. So instead, we need to have that debatable stance that you say, this is wrong, this is right, this is what we should do, this is what we shouldn't do. So if you're having trouble picking a topic, it's very useful to do some preliminary research. If you don't know much about this, talk to people, spend some time on Google. In my in-person 101, we had one of our criminal justice instructors come in and he talked to us. He's a retired state trooper and he talked to us about some of these things. So issues specific to incarcerated children. So this idea of, do we put minors in juvenile facilities? Do we put them in adult facilities? That's an issue. Issues specific to incarcerated parents, so visitation rights, women who are pregnant in the institutions. Also, we talked a lot about medical care. So you are relying on this institution to give you appropriate medical care. So whether we're looking at mental health, whether we're looking at menstrual care, whether we're looking at any kinds of these health issues. We also talked about, like the assignment sheet says, and the idea of voting rights. So can people vote while they're in prison? Some states restore voting rights to felons once they're released. Some states, they can never vote again, or they have to go through these appeal processes. Education and job training, drug abuse and mental health counseling, right? America loves to lock up its drug offenders instead of sending them to treatment. Is this what that we should be doing when they are incarcerated? What kind of treatments are they getting so that when they come out, they don't commit further crimes? Being protected from violence while in the facilities. Sexual violence is, oh my gosh, my Dava ears, not used to them. Sexual violence is a big problem for people. And also, like it said, you can talk about issues specific to certain groups of people. So if you're Jewish and you're in a prison, protecting your right to religion and they have to serve you kosher meals, or for transgender convicts, which prisons do we send them to? How do we accommodate their needs and protect them from sexual violence and other types of violence, etc. So like the assignment she says, we can just take a position and say, this is good, this is bad, this is what we should do, this is what we shouldn't do. You can compare and contrast. So say like, okay, this is what Oklahoma does, this is what Kentucky does. Kentucky needs to get on board and do what Oklahoma's doing. or proposing solutions to say, okay, this is the problem of people not getting menstrual care products, not having, enough, maxi pads and tampons and things like that. What should we do? So you can propose solutions to those problems. So for our support, the assignment, she says you need to have one source from the library database. Like I did with the causal analysis, this afternoon I'm going to be posting several sources that you could use. They're going to be on a wide variety of topics because we're going to be talking about a wide variety of things. So I'm going to try to find some that have general information about the prison population in the U.S. So this is 5 pages. A lot of the causal analysis essays ran short. Your essay has to go to the bottom of the 5th page. Your works cited page is on page 6, so that doesn't count. By the time you turn this essay in, which is due the last week, so we have several weeks, but it's due December 6th, so we have a month. We need to make sure that the grammar is good to go, that our source information is incorporated ethically and responsibly and correctly. We have got to make sure our MLA citation is correct. Like I said, this essay is like your final exam. So this is the moment where you have to prove that all the skills that we've been talking about in English 101 I can do. So I'll move the causal analysis revision to be due on the 10th. That way you guys have a week. Make sure to ask me any questions that you have. I'll be going through this week's blogs to make sure that our thesis is manageable, that it's debatable, and that you're picking a topic that'll be easy to do. So I think that's about all I wanted to say. So happy Halloween. Hope if you celebrate. If not, happy almost November. So hope you have a great day. Let me know what questions you have.